It seems, in this modern age, technology and digital downloads are the norm. In a society where our lives are ruled and dictated by our mobile devices, is there a place for the vintage, more traditional technologies? This documentary will focus on vinyl's rise back into popular culture and why this is happening. What is it about vinyl that appeals to different kinds of people, and what does it mean to them as a music platform? With the major record labels reporting vinyl sales to have hit an 18-year high and continuing to rise, this once outdated and replaced format is making a comeback.
Vinyl's always been a collectible thing.
It's a physical thing you can touch, it's tactile.
I mean, vinyl's got that kind of allure.
The vinyl sleeve it's a work of art.
Now more than ever, it would seem there is an imminent demand for one of the music industry's oldest formats. Trevor Broadbank is a DJ who from a young age had a passion for music. But what started it all for him, and what part has vinyl played in his life?
Well, like DJs used to do, I started off as a bedroom DJ, which is you buy the cheapest decks that you can find and you spend all your money on vinyl. And then I got a lucky break, got into nightclubs and obviously got it right, and then it went from there. The last few years, vinyl started to make this comeback. Now I'm a bit older, I can pick and choose a little bit more what I do, so I still need to pay the bills. I ran a gabber, techno, jungle night for a while. Loved it, really enjoyed playing it. I was doing all that from vinyl with other DJs. It's trickier, it's harder to mix. You've got to be a lot more on point, you've got to do it and you've got to nail it first time. It's quite a lot more fun. And the response you get, if I nail a mix on CDs, who cares? When you nail a mix on vinyl, and when you do a 3.5, 4 minute mix with both records going along together and it works, you get all the DJs coming up and going, that was superb, CDs are a lot more convenient, but then laptop would be even more easy. I don't want it to be a walk in the park, and I like a bit of a challenge, but at the same time, if you're doing pop nights, doing it from vinyl would be, who wants to go and buy Rihanna records on vinyl?
Although pop music is yet to see a resurgence in vinyl sales, it would seem this vinyl revival is not just being pushed by the mainstream music industry. Manchester has a vibrant underground music scene with many music venues across the city. Many of these music venues host up-and-coming bands and independent artists, just like Dan Earnshaw, who fronts dark and brooding synth pop outfit Villiers. What is it about vinyl that appeals to him, and what impact has it had on the way they, as a band, distribute their music?
I think the rise of vinyl again, it is making the market better, because it's only something that underground bands are putting forward. There's something about vinyl that just makes it more of a collector's item for people, and it's something to have. It does make you stand out from the bands, because not every band does have vinyl out there. And there is a reason for that, because it is expensive to manufacture. But yeah, and that's probably why more unsigned bands do stay with digital releases. But for me, it's not as satisfying, because it's easy to get it online.
Jamie Kearney is a young solo artist who, unlike Dan, sees vinyl's appeal but is not sure if vinyl can boost his career at this early stage.
I'm not one of those kind of purists who think that vinyl is like the be-all and end-all, like the amazing best music format. I think there's so many different kinds of music format, and I wouldn't say any are better than the other. I mean, it's kind of attracting a whole new custom, like people my age and younger who perhaps weren't into collecting it, sorting through dusty old record stores and whatever. Now they've got it in places like FOP and HMV and that sort of thing. I think it's going to attract a lot of new kind of people to it since it's had this resurgence. I would consider putting some of my music on vinyls, but kind of in my stage, I'm kind of fairly small at the moment, so I'd definitely do that later on when there's kind of more demand for my vinyl.
As these young independent artists set their sights on the future in the music industry, a day where the record reigns supreme takes place once a year. Record Store Day has become a bastion for vinyl lovers the world around. Colin White is an independent record store owner based in Manchester.
Record Store Days caused a vast improvement on highlighting that vinyl's still out there. I think it's had a lot of press this year. but it ended up being our busiest day for 17 years on this one, so obviously it's having a positive effect.
To the unknown, Record Store Day might mean nothing, but what is so special about it?
It's vinyl, it's limited editions, there's only a few of them. Some of the rarer ones will only have 10, some 5 copies only.
We always tend to stock a few of the releases on the day. We're in a small shop, we can't afford to stock hundreds. But the shop's always busy anyway. We get the sort of the backlog of people moving around the town looking for certain records, and they tend to come in here and have a mix through the racks.
I think Record Stores Day's a great idea because it doesn't need to get people like me in the record shops. I'm in, I'm going in. If it gets people who wouldn't necessarily think about it, then yeah, it's to be applauded.
What do the people queuing for Record Store Day have to say about their experience, and what advice do they have for an RSD Day novice?
Turn up early, that's what we're going to do next year. We'll be here at 12 o'clock next year, I should think.
Give the advice of wrapping up warm, bring in flasks of hot drinks, make sure you've got enough clothes and something warm to drink, because it's a long time to wait in the cold.
Make sure you've got a few lists and a few backups in case anything's sold out.
I think it's about the right time, I think.
Yeah, I'm getting too old to get here too much earlier than 5.
To be honest, this year with the queues and the nuisance factor, I thought, will I do it again next year as early? But I think I will, I probably will. It's one of them, a year's a long time, you forget, and then the vinyl, once you see what the list is and what you want, it makes you want to come again.
The rapport with the other guys and women in the queues was fantastic. I've met some really nice people in such a short space of time, and we swapped Twitter accounts, details, and we're going to keep in touch.
How then, in the midst of all this, does the second-hand and independent vinyl market compare to the commercial one? And what is it about second-hand vinyls that charm people into buying them?
The second-hand market's very healthy, it doesn't get monitored. And even saying it's something like 1.3 million by the end of last year. If you incorporate all the small independent labels that are out there that are pushing vinyl, that you can triple that figure, if not even more. So it's not a true reflection on the market, just what's being put in the press at the moment, because that's just the major labels dictating the sales figures, which to me it's got to be a lot higher, about 1.6% of the market. If you incorporate the second-hand sales, it's into multi-millions.
I prefer the older second-hand kind of vinyl because it's the fact that you go into a record store not knowing if they'll have it or not, and the fact that you can just flick through, find something like, you don't actually go in wanting a certain record. You can go, oh, I like this one, I'll take that one.
With anything that I collect Star Wars stuff. I like things that are a bit rough around the edges. It's nice to have something lovely and perfect, but you almost don't want to use it when it's like that. You get some record second-hand stores where it's been cleared out, whereas when you find one that no one's been near, you're going to have to give me an hour. Hopefully that'll never stop. Hopefully there'll be always things like that you can buy. And if it does, if you run out, if charity shops no longer stock it and it all becomes the collectors and the collectors fairs, then I'll just have to start going to collectors fairs and I can meet other fascinating people like me.
10 Devonshire Place has seen many an open deck vinyl night hosted there, and Trevor is a big advocate of these events.
We were talking about what nights we could do and what would be an interesting thing. I'd been to a night in Nottingham called Bring Your Own Bangers, where they had people turning up with records and playing them. And I'd said something along those lines. We do this format where it's 25-minute sets, and we get all kinds of people.
So Porky's Prime Cuts is an open deck vinyl only night that we run down here. We've got a bunch of DJs. How many have we got tonight? I think it's 7 guest DJs plus myself, Trev, playing some tunes, all of them from vinyl.
With sales of vinyl increasing and the introduction of a new vinyl chart, these kind of nights may just become a permanent fixture in a venue near you very soon. One thing's for sure, the record has definitely returned.